Like, I don't know where I found this out, but like, apparently it does the distance. I definitely found it out. I've not made it up to make you look like a tit because I have to get involved in it too.
I just assumed you would.
Sorry, I'm having a pint of water, because this is the Pints of You Hangover edition, because that's a clever name, so it's on brand. My name is Chris, I'm sort of the genius, visionary host of the piece, and I'm joined by... Oh no, I'm not allowed to say that, am I? I'm joined by Gill. It started well. I'll beat that out. Brilliant. I'm joined by Gill, a man who could rock down to Electric Avenue and actually bring the place lower.
Indeed, I could.
You could. So we're recording a little mini episode. Sorry, I've had a bit of a cold, so my voice is going to be up and down and fluctuating and going a bit high and stuff. But obviously, if you are a woman, you will still find some dampness in your nether regions every time I talk, which will immediately dry up every time Gil talks.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like at least they don't have to see you as well.
All right for some, isn't it?
Nice.
Private viewing.
Thank God for the audio medium. So we've done a little miniature episode so that we can discuss Spectre, because we spent about 2 hours doing a Bond one, which...
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with hindsight, I probably would have split that into 2 parts. So if you've just, like, downloaded to listen to this particular podcast because you're too fucking lazy to listen to the 2-hour one, listen to the 2-hour one. Just listen to it in segments, for fuck's sake. I always break it up with a little musical interlude. You've got no excuse not to listen to it.
And also, the people that I know have listened to it have enjoyed it as well.
Oh, yeah, let me do my little thing where I say, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and Ian. Not really, fuck you, Ian.
I'm members of the Kinky Crew.
Oh no! Oh, they're in it, are they?
Well, one of them is subscribed, apparently.
Listen, Kinky Crew, I don't know who any of you are or any of you live, but one day I shall meet you and ruin your lives.
Just because he fooled us in the first year.
What a bastard! We need to catch him out again. He listens to this, I bet. Actually, no. The last time I saw Kinks, he was like, "Oh, I've not even given it a listen yet." So why do you even fucking exist, then, mate?
That's what I think about 99% of the planet, except for the 100 people who have listened to the previous episodes.
Yeah, it's it's about 111 or something last time I checked.
Is that overall or per episode?
No, that's overall. I think like the first one's up to like 70 odd ish, and then the rest of it is made up by the Bond one. So like there's some dedicated people out there. Like if you are a dedicated person, send us an email. I think it's is it Pints of You podcast or POV pod?
Okay, I can't remember.
Let me just double check it.
As you said in the last episode, all I do is turn up, switch off, and wait for the next one.
Well, that's basically like your input into the human race as well.
It is, yeah, when I'm not asleep.
Right, let me just double check this, because like, it would be nice to be able to know it off by heart, wouldn't it? Oh yeah, so it's pintsofviewpod@gmail.com. Send us an email. We like receiving emails, probably, unless you're an idiot. And go to pintsofviewpodcast.wordpress.com, because nobody's actually fucking been on that, and I did loads of work putting up all them little bloggy bits.
I've been on it.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It was.
It was well
I actually
good.
quite enjoyed watching the strike.
Yeah, well, not only...
And the alternative rendition of that Bond song, which I can't remember.
Well, there was loads of them on there, yeah. It was GoldenEye, the one that was like on its own, but there was a few of them on there.
Yeah, I know you put the top 5.
Yeah, well, like there's also the like 3 videos where somebody had compiled all the alternate Bond songs. So there was a really good one where Alice Cooper done Man with a Golden Gun. But like, speaking of better versions of the song that ended up in the film, because we're talking about Spectre, we will no doubt talk about that in a minute, because I have very, very strong opinions on that whiny fuckwits version of the theme tune.
I mean, I don't mind it. I don't dislike it as much as a lot of people, but it's okay.
It's awful. It sounds like Earth song.
What's that? Oh, the Michael Earth.
Yeah, Earth song.
Jackson song.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know. I've been opening up his legs to little people. Trying to keep this politically correct.
That's rank. That is rank. Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's start off with a little game. If you had to make a 5-a-side team out of Bond villains, who would make your 5-a-side team?
Football, I'm guessing. So
yeah, like sport, not cricket.
Possibly Oddjob in goal.
Oh, that's a good one. Big, isn't he?
He's big, yeah, and obviously, I mean, if it was a full-size goal, I looked at Jaws, but obviously he's quite tall, so might be a bit of a problem getting down low. But Oddjob's quite big.
Oddjob, I reckon, would be quicker than Jaws as well. I reckon he'd be better with his hands.
He would be, yeah. So you want Jaws playing?
Like, yeah, but he'd be a rugged midfielder.
Yeah, he'd be the person that just steps over everyone, and then also people who scared to score because he just bite their neck, he just rip their gullets out.
Yeah, like a Roy Keane or a Patrick Vieira.
Exactly. I have actually seen those two as well.
Oh, that's good, that. So you've got a goalkeeper, Oddjob. Are you just going to go for all big lads? Because, like, You
No,
know?
not necessarily. Odd Job struck me because he's a wrestler. Obviously, he's quite a wrestler. He's quite a small, chubby bloke, so that's why they stick him in goal, because he's quite big and he's able to do these sorts of things.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, speaking of, I was thinking, because, again, I'll get onto this a bit later on, I thought Batista was actually quite good in that film.
I'm glad he didn't speak.
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil, it too much. But this is it, innit? Like, he'd be another good one. If you had him and Jaws in midfield together, nobody would get past him, would they?
What about you have to put Blofeld in there? Or
No,
you could be the manager.
Yeah, Blofeld would be in a sheepskin coat on the sidelines, right?
Like Alfred Ramsey or whatever he's called.
Alf Ramsey, Sir Alex Ferguson, all of the greats. Me.
How is your foot anyway?
My foot's fine, I can walk again. I can't run or jump. Like, that's a bit beyond me. I'm a bit like a toddler again.
You still in the doghouse or?
Nah, I'm alright again now. I worked my magic with some beautiful intercourse. At least one of us enjoyed it.
What the dog?
I guarantee every time I have sex that at least one person will come.
Me hiding the wardrobe.
Like, I was thinking that, like, if you had them two as sort of defenders up front, you could have Xenia on a top because she likes to squeeze the play, and Scaramanga because he never misses. Now, you've got to ask yourself, did I think of this whole item so I can make those two jokes? And the answer is yes. That is exactly what I've done.
It was worth it.
Well, like, now, like, this is brilliant because now we actually record ourselves saying this dopey shit, like, more people than just us will hear that gold. God, we're not even pissed for this one. It was already going downhill.
Yeah, that's probably why though. At least in the other ones it takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. But we're getting better at it, I think. I mean, again, if you've just chosen to listen to this one because it's really, really short, go back and listen to the other ones and listen to the evolution of how great we are at podcasting.
It can only get better, as D-Ream said.
Yeah, or it just stayed the same.
Steve said.
Or...
Was it a dove? A dove friend of mine got into a fight. Once in the doctor responded, "Wings can only get better." I've been telling people, I've been trying to convince people. There's a really thick person where I work. Fucking hell, he's dense. And I managed to convince him that.
Hi, if you're listening.
In Brazil, true or false? In Brazil, is it? In Brazil they use red, green, and yellow peppers as makeshift traffic lights and employ little boys to point at them. I managed to convince him they did that.
My favourite one ever was a dove has overthrown the government of the Philippines. They're calling it the coup of the century.
Fantastic.
And thus ends
And it's
the dove from above round. So, enough of this hijinks and swashbuckling banter. Let's get on to Spectre. What were your thoughts of Spectre overall?
I didn't dislike it. I didn't dislike it at all.
No.
I thought it was better. I thought it was better than Skyfall.
Yeah, it was much better than Skyfall, wasn't it? I mean, like, I was thinking that maybe the best thing to do would be to take it bit by bit. So, like, from the opening, where it's the gun walk thing.
Yeah, I'm listening, sorry.
Yeah,
Just trying
don't
to
do that, because that picks up on the thing and I have to edit it out, you bastard. Yeah, the gun walk thing is back.
The gun... Oh, it is, yes, I noticed that. It was right at the start.
Yeah, this is basically my complaint with all of the Craig films. Where the fuck has that been? But it's back. So, immediately when I saw that, I thought, well, this is progress.
No, definitely. And also, when they obviously walk through the Day of Death, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So I thought this was going to be... and obviously blows up... He does what he does.
Mm.
And then, well, let's face it, if anybody is listening to this and they haven't seen the film, then I don't care.
Oh yeah, we should have said that. Spoilers. We are going to talk about the ending and all of the twists, of which there were none, really. Because, you could work out the twist from the trailer.
There was one kind of twist, but it came. The one C was working for Spectre.
But I mean,
It was obvious.
We'll jump onto that. Like that guy was Moriarty in that version of Sherlock that you fucking hate, and he looked all sinister like Moriarty in that version of Sherlock that you fucking hate. So of course he was going to be evil.
He wanted to change things.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even referring to that. I was referring to the fact that Oberhauser was Blofeld, which we all fucking knew because, like, it's a German in a film called Spectre. Like, fucking, who else is it going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like, one of the things that annoyed me right off the bat is that, like, one of the things that Bond's been guilty of is that they always, like, we said this in the actual Bond podcast, which was amazing, but they try and, like, just copy whatever's popular at the time. So, like, Casino Royale and to a lesser extent Quantum of Solace were like a Matt Bourne film. What was it called again? Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne, yeah.
Jason Bourne film. And, like, somebody said to me that Skyfall was basically, you know, that Batman film, The Dark Knight? Because the bad guy is basically a rip-off of the Joker.
Oh, is that the Blaine or something? The bad guy?
No, it's the Heath Ledger Joker one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that film either, to be fair.
Well, I thought it was alright. I thought that, like, do you know what I mean? When you get sort of, like, average people coming over a comic book movie, then it's, like, you know, it's a bit stupid, isn't it? But, like, yeah, like, basically, Raoul Silver was a rip-off of Heath Ledger's Joker, is what I thought. In this one, I thought, well, you know, they're not going to try and rip anything off because what's popular at the minute, like, you know, superhero films, like, they can't do that. So, like, but that long opening shot, you know, where it's like, it seems to be one long camera track all the way
the
to
helicopter
Mexico.
fight.
No, right before that, where he's walking through with that bird, and he's got the sky.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you're not meant to know that it's Bond, but it is Bond. And yes, he's with a lady.
But like, that ending to Rita Sue and Bob too.
But like that whole thing, I thought was like, it was good that they done it in one shot, and it was like visually impressive. But that's already been done in True Detective.
It has.
Yeah, like that fucking amazing episode where Matthew McConaughey like just fucking knocks around through all those houses and beats up some rednecks.
Oh, with the guns or with the police moving in or something. Is it something to do with that?
Yeah, and he's trying to get someone
I have
else.
seen it, but I've watched it when it first came on, and well, my memory isn't that fantastic anyway when it comes to TV.
Well, that was one of the finest like bits of television I've ever seen. It was probably one of the best like shot things maybe since The Sopranos. And then like when I was watching that,
even better than the Paulie and Chrissy episode.
Well, like, I say since then because like you know they were like hours of visual gold, whereas like that was just like True Detective. I thought it was good, but it was a little bit slow up until that one bit. That was like the hook.
Yeah.
So like I thought that was really amazing, and like it was a little bit obvious that they ripped it off to me.
Who made True Detective was his face, isn't it? I had him on TMS. Mendes. Sam Mendes, did he have anything to do with, or is it just the thing to do at the moment with films and television, just have long sweeping shots?
I think that, yeah, like since True Detective, it's been like a thing.
Okay.
Like, you know, like, you know, like when the fucking The Matrix came out and like all of a sudden everything had kung fu in it and it was that fucking, they called it bullet time, didn't they? Where everything slowed down and the camera went right around them. Like when they start doing it in like sports replays, you know it's gone too far.
Speaking of that Matrix sound, somebody actually told me at school that if you do that, put your hand around your head and hold it over your ears and bring it forward, it simulates the sound of the Matrix.
I've just done that and I just felt a bit stupid and conspicuous.
If there's any consolation, I'm the only one seeing. I'm the only one who can see you, and I'm recording you.
Well, can you? Because if we are in the Matrix, then it's all cyberspace, isn't it? I fucking hate that film, by the way, and its shit sequels.
I'm not a fan. I haven't seen the sequels. I know I've watched it when it first came out. Bought it on the Sky box office.
Hey, kicking it old school.
Keeping it old school. And went to
like most of your clothes.
Last year, went to Kiki's house and him and a few people watching it. And I just fell asleep. So I was so tired in the corner.
Do you know what? Kinks is exactly the sort of person that would think that The Matrix is the greatest film ever. Because he's nice, he's not that intelligent, and, like, he's basically a philosophy A-level student. Like, where, like, you know.
The Rings and Skyfall, not Skyfall. The one with the spaceships.
Oh,
Darth Vader.
Oh, Star Wars.
Star Trek and all that.
Yeah,
Star Wars, sorry.
Well, he's like, he goes out for a fag and, like, you know, somebody suggests to him that, like, everybody might see colours as different and it's the deepest thing that he's ever heard in his life. He's that sort of person, isn't he?
In some respects, I've seen him do ridiculous.
He doesn't wear socks, for fuck's sake.
He does wear socks. There's odd socks.
Oh, my God. I bet he's not even got a tailor.
What a povo.
Twat. So, yeah, that this is going well. That long tracking shot, I thought that was like, it was alright, it was pretty good. But like then occurred a series of nods to old Bond films that I noticed throughout the film. Like one, you know when he's wearing all his Day of the Dead suit.
Yeah.
And then it swings around to the bird who's on the bed, basically begging for it. right?
Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Bond, and he's in a normal suit, and he's folding it over his arm. And I thought, that's pretty much the bit where he comes out of the water, takes off the wetsuit, and he's got the tuxedo on underneath, isn't it?
That's a good point, actually. I completely missed that element.
Yeah, I don't know, like, how... maybe it's because I knew that we were going to do this, so I was a little bit, like, switched onto it.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously give this whole podcast a similar level of thoughts and preparation.
Well, yeah, I think it's just because, like, especially after Skyfall, where, like, when we went to see Skyfall, you immediately went, that was shit. And I thought, no, it was all right, because I think I was really trying to like it. But then, like, I give it a few weeks, and I thought, actually, that didn't make any fucking sense.
I don't see, because there's people who absolutely love it and rave it as I think on, what's it called, the IMDb, that one or Casino Royale is statistically the best Bond film on people review ratings and what have you.
I think it might be considered it, just because, like, I mean, Casino Royale was pretty good, as we agreed. Maybe, like, because Quantum of Solace was so shit, that, like, by the time Skyfall came out, people were really looking forward to it and wanting it, willing it to be good.
I actually still prefer Quantum of Solace to Skyfall. I think Skyfall is a really bad film.
Yeah, there's not a lot going for it. I think that, like, it's also a lot of style over substance in it with all, you know. And, like, that's also a bit true with this one, I think. There's a lot in it that's, like, especially that, like, one long tracking shot. That's a lot fucking, like, style over, like, Bond blowing shit up.
I tell you what I did notice in it, though. You know when they talk about Le Chiffre, Raoul Walsh's character, not Raoul Walsh, he was Raoul Silver's character, I can't remember his name now. But then obviously they make references to them, and what's her face, Vesper Lynd.
Yeah, like...
They completely leave out anything from Quantum of Solace throughout the whole film when they talk about villains in the background in previous films.
Yeah, I did spot that myself, like, because they went to great lengths to not mention that Quantum of Solace ever happened, didn't they? Because, like, you know, that fucking agent that he gets at the end, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What did you think of that? Like, trying to tie in all of the baddies, like Le Chiffre and Lynd and Raoul Silver, all together. Like, were they fucking it together? Raoul Silver didn't have anything to do with any of them.
No, I just thought it's an easy way of just tying it all in. If you are that stupid, you can't pay attention and you can't remember what they look like.
Yeah,
but then let's face it, they are targeting this film towards Americans.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
got to be some American bashing in every episode.
Definitely. That was one of the bits. One of the things that I thought about the film was that it was too long.
I thought it could have done with it about 15, 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, there's stuff they could have trimmed off on it. Like, before it was...
This fucking car chase between him and Batista.
Yeah, I don't know, because I liked that, because that was a car with gadgets.
I did like... It was... I'll tell you what I did appreciate. They could have made that... I reckon they could have made that about 30 seconds shorter. Yeah. I didn't like I didn't like the intentional comedy they put in there with the stupid old man driving really slowly.
Yeah, that slowed it down, didn't it? Like, that didn't add anything to it. Like,
no, nothing whatsoever. It's just basically so thick people can laugh.
Yeah,
and when I went to watch it, there were plenty of laughs. But then I'm watching it in Janaland.
There was lots of like chuckles in it where I was watching it as well. But like I genuinely rolled my eyes at that, and I thought, like, if he's got all these gadgets to set a guy on fire and a license to kill, why hasn't he killed this little old fucking man yet?
Yeah, he's got some opera music on to make him look even more of a wanker.
Well, it's not like that was sort of like, oh, this guy's Italian, he likes opera and drives a Fiat 500. Like, fucking, I know they're in Rome. By the way, as well. Don't give me subtitles saying that it's Rome. Give me a shot of the Colosseum and I'll work it out. Fucking stupid, isn't it?
Or Monica Bellucci's character was quite good as well. But going back to... Anyway, but before I...
No, because this is it. Like, that Monica Bellucci thing. Before the film came out, everyone was going, oh, hey, look, a Bond woman who's older than 40 and she's an older lady. Bond's age. Daniel Craig has flipped his lid about it. And, like, she was in it for about 5 minutes. And was basically a victim of sexual assault, like all of the Bond girls. It just, I didn't see she could have been cut out of it. There was no need for her to be in it.
No, it was because does she lead Bond to Mathis, the other bloke you see, the bloke he shoots in the leg at the end of Casino Royale? Does she lead into him or not? Because if she does, because he obviously directs Bond to his daughter before he blows his brains out.
She does do that, but like she could have done that when he confronted her at the place, or like just after he killed all of those people, because it's basically to look Bond like a hard man that's also a lover, isn't it? But I thought that whole bit of the film, that was one thing that could be lost. That was basically like, he could have met her at the funeral. He said, right, my mate Felix will keep you safe. How do I find this guy? And she'd have gone, oh yeah, he's over there. Because that's like basically what it was, wasn't it? Oh yeah, they're over there. Like, they were all at the funeral.
Yeah, it's... But then I thought...
but again...
So I was chatting to somebody
that was another nod.
They were saying... Sorry?
That was another nod, though, now I think about it, where, like, he kills her husband and then seduces her. That's the same as that bird from The Spy Who Loved Me.
Thunderball?
No, like, you know Barbara Batch, Ringo Starr's wife, where like right at the start of The Spy Who Loved Me, when he's with a lady and he skis and kills all those shits in black jumpsuits with lemon piping. One of them,
Oh yeah,
one of them's the Bond girl's husband, isn't it?
yeah.
So like, that's
Oh
that.
yeah, of course.
Now I think about it, that's just another nod to that.
Yeah, there was something in Thunderball as well. Or did he just go to? Yeah, actually, he just went to a funeral and the bloke and the bad guy was dressed up as a widow. That was it. Yeah, but I think it's just. I think they're the only two people that he shoots, aren't they? The people who are going to kill her. Obviously, he shoots them. I actually don't recall him shooting anybody else in the film.
That's true, actually. Now I think of it, like he shoots the helicopter down at the end, which is like really far fetched. But I kind of liked it in a Bond sort of way because it's James Bond. Of course, he can do it.
Yeah, it does. It adds to the suspense.
Yeah, it just like at least this is another thing. Like his portrayal of Bond was way more on like Roger Moore, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, or a campy Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, like
there was to be a bit serious, but
yeah, I mean there was the eyebrow and there was jokes and like he seems to be enjoying himself a little bit in this film, which is weird because in all the press he's come across as like a right miserable cunt.
Was it? I'd rather cut off my penis and make another Bond film. He made a comment, something like that, or slit my wrist and make a Bond film.
He's right though. I'd rather he would as well.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And take some of the what's the face, Broccoli's daughter with her, because she's never made a good Bond film.
No. Since she took over, they've all been shit, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, there's no Bond film that makes my top 5 all-time favourite films.
Not even The Spy Who Loved Me.
Not even Spy Who Loved Me, I'm afraid.
Russia with Love.
I'd be in the top 10, but not the top 5.
Mm.
And what's his face? The other one, the Lazenby one, on the Magic Secret Service.
Yeah, that's like that's a good Bond film, but that's not like a good film just because of his performance, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't. But the storyline is just fantastic, and also Diana Rigg.
Well, again, another nod. Did you notice in the escape bit with the plane and when they're going downhill down the mountain in the snow and stuff after he's rescued what's its daughter? Like
I can't remember his name, but I know you mean.
But yeah, like that was really on a Magic Secret Service.
Yeah,
because like all the little houses that he went through one. And they're like a split-level snow house. Even they looked the same as the one that him and Tracy Bond stayed in that night.
Oh, is that when they fucked in the shed?
Yeah. But like
New Year's Eve.
Those little housey things that they were hiding in and going downhill. Yeah. That was like a total nod.
God, I mean,
maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but like that was his whole Sam Mendes' whole thing in that Skyfall film was like, hey, look at this. This is a bit like that Bond film you do like. Which I think is another reason why I got tricked into thinking it was a good film. But like this one, like because I was sort of a bit like, I've been burned here, I was really conscious of it all the way through.
I think I might enjoy it. I don't know whether I think I might actually enjoy it a bit more if I watch the second time. Because I went in there just thinking this is going to be shit. Because after the last 2 attempts, I know a lot of people seem to find me tripping over themselves to praise Skyfall. I personally...
I think you're right there, Gill, to be honest with you. I think that, like, if I watched it again, I just watched it as a normal film. I reckon I'd enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed it in the first place. Don't get me wrong. There was a bit...
I enjoyed it as well.
There's a few bits where I went, oh, like, rolled in my eyes, like, oh. But overall, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, because I thought, I know people... The problem is, they tried to make it, Bond could... As Partridge says, and Bond's going to die.
He's going to die!
But then they reversed that with the Blofeld character. He's not going to die. Bond hasn't left the Secret Service to go off with some blonde tramp.
Oh God, yeah. Can we talk about the ending?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah, just sort of go through various bits and bobs.
Yeah, like the ending should have ended within pointing a gun at the bloke on the bridge, and then like maybe a shot in M's office where he walks out, winks at Moneypenny, and drives off into the sunset with that bird. Not this whole fucking. Oh, 007, I thought you'd gone. Like, as if we're meant, like, because fucking, that's a total, like, Daniel Craig might be leaving. That's an actor's out, innit? That's a, like, this never happens to the other fella, sort of a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no need for that bit. Like, I mean, I'd heard before I went to see it that it was going to be a bit of a remake of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but they didn't go far enough with the girl to do that.
Well, you can't marry her, can you? Because you didn't even married one person, although I imagine they'll change that soon.
Yeah, I liked her, though. I thought she was quite good in it.
She wasn't too bad. She wasn't Xenia or Tracy.
No.
Or who else is Pussy Galore.
Maybe you'd appreciate her more if you went and watched the film called Blue is the Warmest Colour.
What did she play in that?
A lesbian who does quite a lot of lesing off.
Oh, fair enough. I think my appreciation for her unique acting style would.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen her performance, wink, in blue is the warmest colour, you'll be thinking all the way through. Like, if he took her back to that old Italian bird, she'd definitely let him do a threesome.
Oh, what, Belluccio's? Bellucci? Yeah. Is she still alive? You never find out. He says, go and meet her. What about me? Oh, you'll be safe with him.
I did like that, though. Like, like, oh yeah, Felix Leiter will take it. Because, like, now that Marvel are doing a thing where, like, loads of different films are all linked up, there's, like, an established universe. I have wondered maybe whether somebody will be stupid enough to attempt, like, a Felix Leiter film.
Well, Felix isn't that clever, though.
Only because that's the way that, like, he's been portrayed by Ian Fleming. I think that if you sort of maybe made a film about Felix Leiter for an American audience, so that like this is an American spy doing all the same shit that James Bond does, I reckon that it would probably do good business.
Possibly.
Because as we know, they're sort of a little bit arrogant about their heroes being American, ain't they?
Depends if he's got a military background.
That's true. And we know this because, like, they can't see a sitcom without remaking it with an entirely American cast.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't seen it at the American Office, but
it's pretty good.
I was in a quiz last night, and that was one of the questions on who played one of the characters. What's Steve Carell's character called?
Michael Scott.
I can't remember.
It's good.
But it was a history society quiz, and once again, there's at least 5 answers that were wrong. And also, one of the questions was, when did The Simpsons start? What was the date? What was the year, the first Simpsons episode?
Oh, Christ. What, are we talking like Tracy Ullman show? Simpsons?
So this is what I asked, and they were, and somebody said, they looked at me all confused. You must have heard of the Tracy Ullman shorts. I mean, I understand you're 10 years younger than me, but you must have heard of them if you're a Simpsons fan.
You know, Gil, you're wasted on those people.
I am. Well, in a year's time, I'll be working at another restaurant. Well, I might have been promoted to KP.
Well, what else are you going to fucking do with a history and politics degree?
Nothing.
And a 2-2 at that.
If I work.
Oh, fingers crossed. I believe in you that you can spell your name right.
Have more faith in me.
You can spell your full name. Judas Gill. Let's call you that. Because then nobody will ever know, be able to find you. No, I mean, like, all joking aside, your middle name is Judas.
It is.
Yeah, so you've admitted it, and that's recorded, so fuck you.
I'm going to WikiLeaks this and speak it without that bit. And then hide it in Ecuadorian embassies for 24 months.
They wouldn't have you in that country.
Yeah.
But let's get off of politics and talk about the murky world of C, which is a stupid name and really contrived, trying to shut down the 00 thing so that you can have this full-on spy network, and it's meant to be a comment on the world and Snowden and all that, but no one cares. They just want to see Bond shoot down a helicopter. And
also, a comment on the government's austerity in this country. Because they talk about funding, don't they?
Yeah.
And lack of funding for the government.
It's really unnecessary, isn't it?
It's a fucking film.
Yeah, like...
Make a film, because even though people, what are they called? The people who get into character.
Method actors.
Method actors. It's not the most difficult job in the world. It's not the most important job in the world. Just fucking grow up.
Yeah, I needed an hour or two's entertainment.
Yeah, I want to escape real life for 2 hours, watch a film. I don't want political messages running through it. If I wanted a political message and I want to watch them for 2 hours, I'd watch a documentary or read a book or listen to the news.
Exactly, Gil. I'm with you 100%.
But that aside, I did quite like the how it was South Africa that vetoed surveillance on their people.
Yeah.
I wonder what you could be saying there, Verwood. I mean, what's the real name?
De Klerk? Sam Mendes?
Jan Smuts?
You mean Colonel Sanders?
Did you have a song for that?
Probably. I have a song about...
It was Twain's World Theme, I think.
I don't know. Like, I often create songs for despots and racists because it lightens them up a bit, doesn't it?
and chicken butchers.
Yeah, like Jan's... is he called Smuts?
It's Jan Smuts.
Yeah, Jan Smuts was responsible for, like, the largest death toll of chickens in the Northern Hemisphere.
Since Jesus.
Since Jesus, as we Spaniards call him, because that's what I am, because we're throwing out red herrings trying to stop people guessing where we're from and what we do.
I'm going to really put them off now.
Chris Waddle.
Scotchio!
What about the really contrived way that they turned Christoph Waltz into Blofeld?
Oh, what, when he threw the key or something? As soon as that happened, I thought, that's going to give him the scar. And then it looks like, and then it looks the scar as though he's been cut.
Yeah,
There's no burns.
A series of explosions resulted in facial deformities. I was a little bit disappointed that when he came out of the helicopter, his hair wasn't on fire, and he was all like, running around shitting himself, trying to put his hair out, but brushing it all off.
Plus,
You think the CGI, they could have done that. I was really annoyed that didn't happen. But maybe, like, you know, over the next few films, he's going to be like, you know, like when you're stressed at work, because that's like, you know, that's something that happens to modern people, so they'll shoehorn that in as a plot device. So maybe, like, he'll just get more and more stressed for James Bond foiling his plans, and he'll be like, oh, fucking hell, like, you'll just have a picture of Blofeld waking up in the morning and, like, combing his hair, and, like, there's a bit in the sink, and he just tuts and rolls his eyes, and, like, he's really stressed at work, and then Rosa Klebb comes in and hugs him from behind.
doesn't kick him, though.
I feel like it missed the Rosa Klebb.
It did. I'll tell you what I would have appreciated as well, because you know in most of the Blofeld films he gets away, all the Blofeld films except obviously when he kills him.
Yeah.
What would have been funny is if Blofeld had got away, and I mean, if you want a bit of comic about it, just have Bond shaking his fist at him.
As he disappears down the Thames. Because they've always got to be on the Thames.
Boy!
I liked the bit when it was a total rip-off of From Russia with Love, another nod where they had a fight in a train. I thought that was good.
I hated that. I think that really ruined the film.
Do you think so? Oh, I liked that fight.
I thought that fight scene in From Russia with Love was terrific. It's very claustrophobic inside the carriage and everything.
Yeah.
That, they just... What is Bond... What's that fucking stone thing in the Magnificent Seven? Marvel thing? It or something?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. Then he starts throwing him through walls and wood and everything.
Yeah, I guess that, like, you know, maybe they went a bit over the top and it had to be, like, a more action-packed version. But I did quite like it, and I also liked that you didn't see his fate, Mr. Hinks, or Batista as we know him, just to bring it full circle with the 2 episodes we've done.
Very good.
But
well, he'd have had his neck broken. He was dead.
Yeah, but, like, because there was many things where he should have, like, died. Like that car crash that he was in, he should have died.
Because everyone else died, didn't they?
Yeah, but he didn't. So, like, he's a bit... Like, I like that, again, another nod, he's a bit of a modern Jaws, isn't he? So maybe he'll appear in the next film as well.
Maybe.
In fact, I will bet you £100 now that the start of the next film will be Blofeld in prison and being broken out, and Bond just failing to stop it and getting one vital clue in the process. And it may or may not involve Batista as Mr. Hinks.
If you were to say Batista and you wanted £100 on that, then I would take you up on that offer.
But we're not going to find out for 2 years. You'll have forgotten this. It's not like we're putting it on the internet for prosperity. Prosperity? Posterity.
Prosperity.
Yeah,
well,
shut up, Gill.
The winner will be.
But yeah, like...
I think he's dead because I walked away with that thinking he's dead. His neck was broken. He was hurled out of a train. Although Jaws was also thrown out of a train.
Yeah, like I think. Yeah, another nod.
And Teehee as well from Live and Let Die.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, aren't you? But like I think that the general rule of thumb with Bond villains is if you don't see a body, they ain't dead.
Fair one. What is it about Roger Moore throwing people out of trains?
Roger Moore didn't like throwing punches, so that was the closest they could get. They had to work out a set of circumstances so he could end up on a train to throw somebody off him.
Ooh.
He trained for the role by like being a conductor and going, "No, I'm sorry, you don't have a ticket. You'll have to leave."
Which I believe Sean Connery did as well for his role from Russia with Love.
No, he just like bought a first class ticket in the 60s when you still could and just stayed there with various birds.
I'm 007, don't you know?
Oh, that was a bit weird. You know, like when he beats up Batista and they manage to choke him out of a train and then they like look at each other and goes like, so what do we do now? And then they run off and have it away. That's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Bond obviously gets aroused beating up former professional wrestlers.
But that bird was far too intelligent to fall for that shit.
It's still a Bond film, isn't it?
I guess, but it was too quickly a transition from like she's a really smart woman, but then all of a sudden she finds him just like irresistible. Like she's been in a bit of danger and now she can't move for her own sexual juices.
I know the feeling.
You're in some now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I know what you mean. It is, but I just thought, wow, Bond. He can. The whole character of Bond can have any woman that he wants. So
I guess
I don't necessarily buy into the fact that Bond has got to be modern day PC, feminist, and all that. It's a Bond film. It's not Bugsy Malone.
True. I guess like you're right to an extent. But like, I don't know, there was just a couple of things in it that like I thought, if you're gonna like make a leap and make out James Bond is now a modern film franchise, don't insult my intelligence and also be like massively sexist.
That's a good point.
I sort of because like time's getting on and we wanted this to be a short one, but like the last thing I wanted to talk about.
I've got to leave for work. Right, I've got an hour, but
yeah. Well, you still want the time to prepare, don't you? But like, before I forget, like the theme tune, that Sam Smith song, that's awful.
I don't mind it, to be honest.
It's up there with Die Another Day. How bad it is.
I would say it wasn't. Well, personally, I wouldn't say it was that bad, but I know a lot of people who dislike it. So I heard it. I heard it was really bad, and I was at home one day, and I had some builders next door, and one on Radio 2 broke saying, the new Bond film. I thought, not Bond film, sorry, the Bond song. I thought I listened to it, and I wasn't. It's not fucking Goldfinger by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
but I wouldn't have said it was. It's nothing special.
It's not even that. It's awful. It's really bad. Like, it's so whiny and shit. Like, I'll admit I don't listen to Radio 1 because I'm not a fucking moron. So like, I don't know this Sam Smith from like Adam Smith. So like, I wasn't really aware of his back catalogue and his songs. And I honestly thought that like after the good work Adele had done, they'd get in like a Paloma Faith, maybe, someone like that. I like it when they get a woman with a powerful voice. I think the best Bond songs are always like, like sort of powerful and ballady. Not that whiny codswallop that we fucking got.
There's certainly better people out to do a song, but at least he's out the way now, so we'll never come back.
This is true. But like, after having looked through all those videos to make the sort of like the blog, which again I'll mention as pintsofviewpodcast.wordpress.com, go visit it, it's amazing. But like, yeah, after doing that and putting down all those alternative Bond songs, like even like Johnny Cash submitted one, for fuck's sake. Like, that's how like many alternative Bond songs there are. I reckon there's about 4 or 5 songs written for this film that are probably better than that shit they put in. It's called like the writings on the wall. The only writing that was on the wall is the fucking like arrows at the end.
And obviously he writes a list of people who have fallen, and he writes James Bond's name there, doesn't he?
That's like so contrived and shit.
And then they blow up. Then they blow up the building that's already been blown up. Is it once before? Maybe twice.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Spectre and the whole film is about like secret organisations in the shadows, why not write a song about things being in the shadows and unseen?
Yeah.
Also, I didn't like the gratuitous topless Daniel Craig in the opening credits.
Was there?
Yeah, like he's all like this, and there's a woman coupling from behind, like that Janet Jackson one.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that definitely spoiled it without a doubt.
I didn't remember I think I went to the toilet during the credits.
Oh, good plan. You missed. That's why you think the song's all right, because you didn't have to fucking sit through it. Oh, as well, stop putting Judi fucking Dench in it.
Oh, yes, she was back in it a few times.
No need.
She left this message. She wanted you to do this. She did that. What? She's dead.
Yeah, like, fuck off, mate. You're dead. I don't care what you say. It didn't matter when we... I was going to do something really offensive about like departed family members then, but just in case my mum listens, I won't.
When he hears the fire bells cry. Someone must be in a jam.
I only found out the other day that Simon Sam was Welsh.
You didn't know he was Welsh?
I don't know about like what about Pontypandy didn't give it away. I've been young for most of my life, alright? Fuck off.
I seem to be given a new nickname recently by Kinky and others.
Is it cunt?
Another one. Dory, because apparently my short-term memory is so shit, like Dory from Finding Nemo.
I don't think it's fair. You've probably got like a legitimate like brain injury, and they're mocking it. You'd never do that to them.
No, I'd never mock anything that they
Fuckwits.
do. Yeah.
What haven't we got onto? What haven't we talked about so far with the film?
Talked about the song, Batista. We talked about the boss, Blofeld, how good he is. I haven't even really mentioned him.
No, he's good though, isn't he? He's a good actor.
It's Christoph Waltz, isn't he? He's called.
Yeah, I mean, he basically plays the same character he did in Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, just with drills.
Yeah. Oh, that thing was a bit weird. I think that was meant to be like a Goldfinger nod because, again, I'm obsessed with this, and I think that they're definitely all the way through the film. Like it was all right. I mean, I would have preferred a laser going up towards his Jacobs, but like. like specific drills, and also the first one meaning to like destroy his memory, but then not doing it because, you know, of course he's going to forget a woman. He's James Bond.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit like, you know, like sometimes, like, this is the weird thing about James Bond films. If you strap him to a table and threaten to cut him in half, bollocks first with a laser, I can get into that. Like, I am fully on board. I think that's fine. The thing with the drills, I was like, nah, that's ridiculous. That would never happen. Do you know what I mean?
It is. No, it was all right, but
also,
again,
there was that bit where like he's lying in the chair and like the drill has to come out to go in the back of his head, and it goes like whoop, 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 and unfolds about 12 times. Just get a henchman with a Black and Decker, you fucking idiot. Because then, like, getting killed wouldn't have happened. You'd have won. The film would have ended there, and the bad guys would have won. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, again, it goes back to I have a gun in my room. I'll go and get it. Do it together. Boom. Go on over. Scott, you just don't get it, do you?
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I need to film again.
Oh, that's tickled me. That I really liked it.
Sorry?
That tickled me. That I really liked it. That was good. Oh, there's gadgets. I liked that there was gadgets. I found myself, and I'm disgusted to admit this, when Q did his, like, bring it back in one piece joke, not literally one piece, like, I did do a little bit of a, like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because you, in the last podcast, you, like, poured scorn. Go back and listen to the last podcast, Gill definitely did this. Like, you poured scorn on new Q for being too young. I thought he was all right. I didn't think they needed the bit where Q got chased.
Oh, what, when he goes to meet in the medical centre?
Yeah.
And he buys that fucking gimpy herbal milkshake or something.
Yeah. It was really, it didn't need it, did it?
No. What?
That again, like, they could have cut that out, where Bond sits at the bar and rolls his eyes at not being able to get some booze, and then looks up and sees that she's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
But that whole thing could have been cut out. This is another thing where I think the film's a little bit too long, a little bit too self-indulgent. Although I liked that the Moneypenny had a boyfriend.
Well, she was, there was somebody she was nailing, or, well, earlier on that evening they'd have sex anyway.
Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be Moriarty, or C.
Who was it, or didn't we ever see his face?
No, it was never shown. Although, like, 009 hasn't got his car, so maybe it was him.
Was it 009? Was 009 the one that was killed in Octopussy?
I think it was. Yeah, what was Alex Trevelyan? He's 006.
He was 006. There was 005, I think, was in one.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is like sort of like what I was saying earlier on with the Marvel thing, where they're trying to build a universe. I think that there's an element of that to it, where they're trying to sort of like establish characters around Bond that just like act independently of him. Because like in the past, maybe it's been a little bit too Bond focused, which I'm not really that bothered about because it's a film about James Bond.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it anyway. I might not like it, but I watch it.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, yeah, she, I mean, the only reason that he was there in bed, being ignored, was so that she could ignore another man for James Bond, who's never going to finish up and leave with her, is it? So I can understand that bit.
Doesn't she say something like, who is it? My boss, he's got credit card problems or something.
Sure.
She makes an excuse anyway. I do remember that bit, but I can't remember what the excuse was.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. So maybe it wasn't somebody from inside the agency. But, like, because, I mean, actually, now you mention it, yeah, because I guess that because, like, you know, Spectre has agents everywhere, even in the 00 thing, maybe that was meant to be a, like...
Maybe it's something they planned to do, just never got... And then, obviously, because they never said anything about it, you could assume it was just some bloke that she'd met on Tinder or something.
Yeah, well, I guess that now everything links in and, like, nothing must be discounted. Not even Judi Dench being dead. Like, maybe it will just come up later on. In fact, I'd like to see a film, a proper, like, rogue agent film, where there's another 00 and Bond just fighting it out all over the world. Like, they've never done that properly. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, GoldenEye was good.
Yeah, because we both agreed in that last one, even though we were very, very drunk, that, like, they killed off Sean Bean way too early.
Well, he's the bloke who just keeps dying and everything, isn't he? So
No, that was Robert Carlyle.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you know Sean Bean?
No, everything Bean's been in except for Sharp. He's died in, isn't he?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he does always die ridiculously quickly. Like, that's just his thing, man. He's a guy that dies.
Well, he's come out in support of Corbyn, isn't he?
Who hasn't? I have.
So have I.
Jezza for president.
You? Sorry?
Jezza for president.
I think Jez, greatest Labour leader ever.
Yeah, and you do that as now a voting member of the Labour Party, just in case your bird is listening.
Just in case he's listening.
Yeah. Also, now she's going to, you spoke with your mouth full, you dirty boy.
Oh well.
Gill is once again eating during the podcast. He's got all day to eat, all evening to eat, and yet he chooses to eat in the one time with fucking
Oh well.
Fuck off! No, I can't think of anything else. I think we've sort of exhausted it, haven't we? Like, if you like, I guess the last thing to do is if you had to give it a review, maybe out of like 5 pints, if we're going to be twatty about things, like how many pints out of 5 would you give it?
Well, right now, I wouldn't give it any because I'm hungover.
Oh dear.
But 2.5, 3. Yeah, I'll go 3. I'll be generous.
I think being generous would be 3.5, and that's what I'm going to go for it. There's a lot wrong with it, but overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I would say up there. I personally preferred it to Casino Royale.
I think I did as well. I think out of all the Craig ones, this is the best one, apart from the very last bit at the end.
Process walking out of the cinema. This is the one I've been. It's the first one I've watched. It's the first Bond film I've watched since GoldenEye '95. Well, the first time I've watched it, I've enjoyed it. I enjoy Casino Royale now, but as I said to you before, I've had to go back and watch it.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. It's also, for me, the first time that I've sat through a Daniel Craig portrayal of Bond and thought of him as James Bond, rather than just thinking like Daniel Craig's James Bond. Like, he was really James Bondy for most of it. He laughed at himself and made jokes, which is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they're going with the serious, Roger Moore wouldn't even last today, but I think Bond does have humour too. He does make little quips and everything. That is part of this character in the films, anyway. Definitely in the films.
But it's, I mean, Casino Royale. What year was that released?
2006, I believe.
2006. So, yeah, I've just looked it up there. Like, it definitely was. So that's nearly 10 years of Daniel Craig as Bond. So, like, a lot has changed in 10 years. Like, not just in like the way that, like, you know, the world goes and what people want to see at the cinema, but the way that films are made and the technology available to them. So, of course, his performance has got to evolve. So I guess it's sort of like reasonable to assume that this was on the cards. That's a good Casino Royale pun. I've just realised a little bit too late to claim credit for it.
I did, actually.
But yeah, like, I mean, finally he was like a Bond with a bit of humour to him, and now he's fucking off.
Yeah.
Do you think that he'll be back?
I think they've left. We know he's not going to leave. I know he drove off with the bird, but
He looked too old.
Not too old. And also, I think if he's really not enjoying it, it's got to be something you want to do, because it will be a big project. It'll take a lot out of you, be enjoyable, but obviously the worldwide media and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to cry too hard for him because he makes a lot of money off it and everything.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, because this is like a 2-year turnaround for a Bond film, so I would not be surprised if in about a year's time, I don't know why I'm staking like loads of money on this, because this is definitely not going to happen. I'm going to look like an idiot, people listening retrospectively, but like, I wouldn't be surprised if in about a year's time they sort of announce that he's gone and they're looking for a new one, because there's probably people out there that
There'll be somebody, I just don't know enough about modern day actors to really.
It's not even that. I mean, there's probably someone in, like, you know, some sort of fucking like Downton Abbey thing or some like drama that we're just not interested in. That like it's got to be someone young, like early 30s.
Yeah.
So they can like age with the part, because they're going to be expected to do at least 2-3 films.
I'd say 3 or 4 at a minimum.
Well, fingers crossed.
And that's 10, 12 years, roughly.
Yeah.
I said it's one every 3 years.
Yeah, I think that they need somebody that can like just like have a bit of longevity with it. But well, you never know. Do you know what I mean? This could all we could be proved drastically wrong. Like Daniel Craig could come back for another one, and it could be his view to a kill.
Or yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to think if anybody has come back and it's ever worked.
Sean Connery.
Well, Diamonds Are Forever.
Yeah, no, that didn't work. Did it? That was awful. And we didn't talk about it in the last one. Never Say Never Again.
I haven't seen that one for such a long time. All I know it's a remake of Thunderball. It's got Ursula Andress in again and Kim Basinger.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. His wig in it is really bad. In fact, the wig in it is worse than the one that he wore when he was pretending to be a Japanese man. The daft racist.
Oh, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's a final, like, supplementary question before we fuck off. Did you think it was good enough to make either your top 5 or your top 10?
No.
Not top 10?
Top 15.
I think that give it some time, and we will chuck this one in our top 10s as a sort of, like, your token Daniel Craig film.
It might go in there as filler if I can't remember anything, but there's plenty of other good ones. The first, I mean, it's not better than the first 5 Bond films. So I wouldn't say it was better than 6. Sorry, Wasn't better than Doctor No. Wasn't better than For Us with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, or You Only Live Twice,
True.
or the other one, Lazenby's.
On
My
the
Secret
Secret
Service.
Service. It's better than
So there's
everything
6 straight off
Octopussy
the bat.
onwards. I'd say it was
Sorry?
better than like anything Octopussy onwards.
Except I quite enjoyed License to Kill, though. I know a lot of people don't, but I.
Oh
quite
no,
liked
I was talking like Roger more specifically. I don't. Do you know what? It's sort of like for me, it's almost as good as License to Kill.
That's not. Yeah, that's because I would put License to Kill on my top 10, but it would be about 9 or 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as License to Kill, but like in fact, this is like now. Do you think it sort of like watches a little bit like an actor's first Bond film?
What, License to Kill or?
No, Spectre.
Well,
Think about the reveal at the start where he wore the mask all the way through, and then he's Bond, and like you know it's Bond because of the way that he's looking and stuff. If you took this film to somebody that had never seen a Bond film, and you showed them all of them up to Die Another Day, and then you said, "Here's the next one, Spectre," and they watched it, I could easily believe that someone would think that that was.
there were parts of it which I agree with you, but when they say things like, "Oh, her, Brow Walsh, and Vesper and Lashifa," whenever they talk about them,
I guess.
so in that respect, I can see what you mean. Obviously, the introduction. That's not a bad. That's not a bad.
It looks like a first Bond film. I think.
There's certain parts of it. Definitely, I agree with you. But I think there are also other parts which you'd need to have not necessarily seen the other Bond films, but you certainly need to know who these characters are.
I guess. I mean, like maybe the way that Daniel Craig's been going on, maybe they sort of wrote it thinking that he might not do it.
Perhaps.
So yeah, maybe they thought, that was be the way. I mean, like the last one was the sort of like the end of the beginning, if you know what I mean. To quote Alan Partridge, like that was like, this long arc of Daniel Craig coming in and the canon being set up. That was the end of it. Maybe this is just meant to be treated as like, this is Bond going forward. You've got M, you've got Moneypenny, you've got The Office, you've got Q, and you've got Blofeld.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The whole cast is there.
Yeah, like this is it. Like, we are back in territory, so they must be able to make the next film with absolutely no connection to the past whatsoever. They should be able to do a fresh film other than the fact that Blofeld will be in it and he might reference an earlier adventure.
Perhaps, but we'll have to see.
So, it's difficult to say, like, without sort of plotting out what do I think of the top 10 Bond films. I don't think it will make the top 10, but it's going to be, like, 11.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I was thinking. So I said, because you said, which is actually a good point, it was slightly below License to Kill.
Yeah. It's better than, like, every Brosnan film except GoldenEye, I'd say.
Definitely, and it's better than a lot of more films.
Oh God, yeah.
Not all of them, but a lot of them.
And it was better than The Living Daylights.
The last two.
Better than The Living Daylights, for definite.
No, I enjoyed The Living Daylights, but
this is better than The Living Daylights. Just like that went a bit silly.
Oh, I'm getting mixed up with the first Roger Moore film.
Oh, Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die, so I'm getting them two mixed up.
Yeah, no, Living Daylights is the one with Timothy Dalton where Felix Leiter gets eaten by a shark.
And that's License to Kill, he gets eaten by a shark.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But Living Daylight promised to be, because as we talked about, the Russian spy thing in it.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot better.
Those two Dalton films merge into one for me. So, like, they'd probably be on a level anyway. They'd be like a joint 10th or something.
Living Daylights could have been better. But anyway, we're not talking about that.
But yeah, I mean, if you think about, there's been 26 Bond films, and this one would, like, for me, come in about 11th, I'd say, without making, like, a concrete list. I think that's pretty good. And I think that's sort of like, that shows that we enjoyed it. And I guess there's not really much more to say.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
As I said, best on first viewing, it was the one I enjoyed most since.
I will, like...
5.
Because it'll be on telly all next Christmas. Because we're in November now, we're just coming up to December. Like, that all next Christmas it's just going to be like this film, like fucking premiering on ITV, innit? Because that's what happens. Like, this is what happened with Skyfall last year. So like, I will buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, and I will definitely watch it. And I reckon like it's one of those ones. It's a bit of like a From Russia with Love or a Goldfinger, where I'm going to see it advertised on telly and think, oh, I'll watch that,
and then not.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's the thought that counts, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I very rarely stay awake whilst watching television. I just fall asleep a lot.
Well, that's because of your bad memory.
It is. At my age.
True, you are 64.
When I was 64, it was a very good year.
Well, on that bombshell, I guess it's time to leave. Oh, God, I sounded just like Jeremy Clarkson then. I apologise. That's never going to happen again. If you were offended by that or anything else that we've said, please, by all means, send us an email to pintsofviewpod@gmail.com. That's pintsofviewpod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. And you can also go visit pintsofviewpodcast.wordpress.com. pints.com, where we put on some really good stuff. You can also find all the episodes there. And you can leave a comment if you don't like emailing because you're some sort of dickhead. Anything else to add?
I was about to make a Jeremy Clarkson joke.
The man is a walking joke, so you don't need to do that, do you, Gill? Really?
Well, I was going to say, if you are offended by your comment and you want to send us an email, can you attach a rare steak with it?
I do.
But I've missed my moment.
Just for the record, I like my steaks medium to well done. I think meat should be cooked. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, it needs blood.
If this podcast were a steak, it would be burned.
Or in the bin.
Yeah. Well, you work in a restaurant. You know more about these things than I do.
You'd think, wouldn't you? I still can't tell the difference between lamb and duck.
What, like, before they're killed and cooked?
Yeah. One of them's in water, but I swear they do white or something.
Well, there's something for you to learn. You need to get one of those books where, like, you can press a button and it makes the noise. Like, once you've worked out which is which, like cognitive recognition, then you can do noises.
Oh, I just start thinking, MacDonald had a farm.
Well, let's not push it, Gil. Let's not run before we can walk, which is something that I can't do.
What, walk?
No, run. I'm still knackered. I can't run.
Oh, yes. Must have been about 6 months ago you fucked up your leg.
It's not been 6 months. It's been 4. I tore.
I think we recorded the first episode back in June or July, didn't we?
No, it wasn't that long ago. It was when the last one came out. Sort of like end of August, end of July, we sort of did it. Yeah, so yeah, I guess it was in July. But like, what I did was I tore all of the ligaments on one side because it sort of like it landed. Imagine like your foot landed on the side with the sole pointing inwards and then turning up a bit. So like, I tore all the ligaments on the outside. On the inside, they all ruptured because they all got compressed. And I also fractured my ankle, which I didn't realise until 6 weeks later. After which I've been walking on it, like when I went out with you. Oh, also, this is something I probably won't leave this in, but like I might though actually because it makes me sound like a total hero. When I left you and when you left me rather, you cunt, right? And I stayed out for a drink where I told like that guy that was there was like he was such a bellend. So I told a number of lies because like he was one of those people, you know, like do you know in the office when Garth Marenghi's there and he's going. And I went down, I raced on the go-kart track and I got the best time ever. And they were like, sorry, mate, no professionals. And I was like, I'm not a professional. This is my first time. Like, he was like that IT technician, right? So I just told a number of lies, each getting more outlandish the more I drank. Sort of. And then, like, you know, the night wore on. So like, they went out in a taxi and I made me excuses. And as I was walking back, you know the Halifax to the bottom of Royal Parade?
Yeah.
Like, there was these lads there. And I stopped to ask one of them for a lighter. And, like, one of them was just, like, fucked, like, leaning against the thing and his head was lolling. And like as I was chatting to these other two, like I looked back and he was like fucking like choking on his own vomit sort of thing. So I had to stick around and put this because they weren't from Plymouth, so I had to stick this motherfucker in the recovery position, right, with that fucking great boot on. I could hardly walk. Yeah, like I managed to get him in the recovery position. And I looked at him, I said like, are you going to sit with him like this for about 2 hours until he sobers up enough to realise that he's in the recovery position? Because like that's basically all you have to do. And like, you know, so he's not sick. Or do you just want me to ring an ambulance and they'll drop you home and they'll probably pump him full or something? So like I had to wait around then for this motherfucker to like get in an ambulance. It was insane. It was like the first thing we did, because he was choking on his own sick, is like picked him up. Like they hoisted him by his armpits. And he like looked at him and rolled his head back and cracked it against like that marble on the outside of the old bank. Fucking, it was like, do you know what I mean? Like somebody dropping a rock from a great height. That was the sort of crack that it made. It was insane. And then, like, yeah, like, I just couldn't do it. I was like, just fucking stick him on the floor. I'll sort this. So, yeah, I'm a bona fide hero.
Hair gel, the hero.
Yeah, like, also, Shandy can fuck off with that nickname. Like, he's only calling me that. He's just envious because he's losing his widow's peak is higher than, like, my opinion of myself.
I'm going to use that for anyone that knows you now. But that's higher than Chris's opinion of himself.
Like, literally 3 people will get that. This is all staying in now, by the way, because it makes me sound fantastic. Hello, ladies. That's one of my catchphrases.
Never seen Spasmos walk away so quickly.
Anyway. I can't think of anything else we need to put in. So, yeah, go to the website. Go to pintsofviewpodcast.wordpress.com. Send us an email, pintsofviewpod@gmail.com. And, yeah, we love you. but not you, Ian.
Yeah, fuck off, Ian.
Yeah, fuck off, Ian.
Fuck off, Ian.
With your one leg.
And your supposed Welshness.
Okay, say goodbye, Gil.
Yeah, I don't like things there. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I'm quite busy most days.
Jobs and all that. But like, yeah, if I can come down for like, a couple of days maybe, it's just an opportunity to crack it out like whenever we're about, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We could actually. Hold on, mate. We could actually do one in a pub.
Yeah, if we can sort out the background
Another
noise.
one.
If it's middle of the day, I reckon that could work. If it's like, somewhere quiet in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it couldn't be fucking gumpy rooms at the bottom of town.
No, you're right.
Or any shitty fucking nightclub. I'm not going to a nightclub.
No, they wouldn't let you in.
You wouldn't hear it anyway, but
there's a dress code. You're not allowed to dress too much like a tosser.
Oh. I do.
Zing.
Takes a special sort of person to dress in all beige at college and sit in the middle of the room.
Yeah, well, at least that way nobody can see all the stains on your clothes.
Exactly.
Mm. What about...
I did get that, by the way.
That's good, that's fun.